Hello, my contributor. Today, na the 2nd of November 2021, una countryman don't come live again as una join. Una know the usual routine. Una match fire for the share, make it go far and wide, my contributor. So una fit see on una screens the topic of discussion. I be sorry say I come a few minutes later than planned. Now because I've got some technical difficulty, but the most important thing I say, we don't finally assemble and continue a day live. Today we'll talk about Ayaba Cho, it don't blink. I go play for una some audios the way they come out from Amber World. Una share them for WhatsApp. Una share them everywhere, my contributor, make it go far and wide. So yes, we will discuss about what way to go on for Amber World, especially this so-called retreat where it happened for Canada at the moment. So as alone all, we see Jamel look, Black Legs past Amber, Cameroon one indivisible. We see una all, where una don't assemble, una match fire for the share, make it go far and wide. Una share for WhatsApp, for YouTube, everywhere my contributor, countryman it come. I can play for una some audios and videos. Una listen them while we're with the share them, my contributor.
There is so much division happening right now in the Amazonian revolution that we have to start focusing on our own selves.
That's true.
Let me repeat.
Repeat that.
There is so much division. These divisive diasporan Amazonians that we have to start focusing on our own selves. Amazonians are running behind Canada with empty hands.
Empty hands.
Cameroon was not even part of it because Cameroon is not blinking. But we Amazonians, we are the ones blinking.
Blinking.
Each time they wave at us, we blink. Each time they wave, we blink. Stupid. Completely stupid. What are we afraid of? Are we afraid because Facebook labeled us terrorists? Who is Facebook? Facebook is a non-state actor. Irrelevant to the point where it even changes its name to Meta.
Meta.
Talking to you. Why are you blinking? Why are you blinking? Tell me who is more strategic. Isn't La République du Cameroon more strategic than the people of Amazonia? More strategic than our mindsets? For now, we are not yet at power parity with La République du Cameroon. How does La République du Cameroon function in Amazonia? They roll out their cars, they roll out their hillocks, machine guns, they walk motorized, but we walk on foot. We are not yet at power parity. We are not yet at power parity. We are not yet at power parity. Yet we are rushing for their so-called dialogue. We have to focus on building our internal selves first.
Thank you plenty, my contributor. I hope say that one it bring home the message where we can talk about today. Ayaba Cho Lucas, it don't blink. Where they be talk today, so their motto is don't blink, don't blink. But now not themselves of the spokesperson for the so-called Ambazonia Defense Forces, Tapang Ivotanku, it don't can tell when I say Ambazonia, they blink. So now I will can explain for una as well exactly why way they blink, exactly why way they be for this desperate situation where they don't get no choice, they don't get no option but for blink, but for accept defeat, but for enter into negotiation, dialogue, or whatever you want for color. So now I will play for una plus audios and everything else for una for understand exactly the dire situation where the Ambazonia so-called revolution and Ambazonia terrorism is there in today. So we'll talk about the infighting, sabotage, and the fight for supremacy and legitimacy inside Amber World. We'll also talk why, where Ayaba Cho is herself at the blink, and we'll also talk about the so-called CDN, where that so-called coalition for dialogue and negotiation, where they get that Cameroon conference where they go on for Canada, my contributor. I can't talk about that sabotage, but first, we'll go play our Cameroon national anthem, my contributor. So I will cue up the national anthem for una, and then we'll go start our live broadcast, my contributor. Today, na the 2nd of November 2021, and meanwhile the talk show, I've been at the Kumkumasa, the king of all the black legs. Wanna listen? Thank una plenty, my country people them. As una join, una match fire for the share and make it go far and wide. Una share them for YouTube, for WhatsApp, una share them everywhere you go, my country people them. Today, I will take this live broadcast slowly, as usual. We will give una case studies them, we'll give una examples, we'll give una play for una the amber sheet, no white blast terrorists themselves. They will talk. I will go into their own accounts. I will show una evidence which way it happened inside so-called amber world, my country people. So, before I want to go too far, I can begin talk about the CDN, when at the Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiation Conference, where it happened for Canada, where it be actually sponsored by the Cameroon government, and any person will want to find out exactly what I mean, message me either privately or during this live broadcast. I will explain them what I mean. Now, I want for sure that this person there on the screen, his name na Uchiba Nelson, okay, Nangiman. If we go for your own Facebook account, when a Facebook account that, I kid you not, when I go for a Facebook account, when I go read the post, the way you just don't post them. Now a Facebook account that, okay, when I go for a Facebook account, when I read through a thread, okay, now in that 1 hour ago, are they live right now? Time now for Cameroon are just a few minutes, now 12 minutes past 6. 1 hour ago, now wait this way, Nelson Uchiba, a post them. He said, a copy from somewhere else. He said, this is what we call reading the mind of La République. Honestly, we are seeing our people resorting to normalcy by their actions, by going to the things they rejected, including community schools. He said, we truly see fatigue in people because those in positions of power at the LGS don't do their jobs. I mean, do. Okay, many LGA chairs and many executive members are there just as figureheads. Now the exact same complaints that this way Anglophones, they only complain about Cameroon government for 60 years. Then when they get opportunity for forming their own so-called government, they get exactly the same complaints. And for tell when I say Anglophone man a problem, na Anglophone man. When I hear Anglophone man complains that this thing bad, I know they see me as person where he want to change the situation for the better. No, I see the Anglophone man as person where he only complain because he want to be in that position for do that bad thing. No, not because he want to go for them go change them. So when I create, when I also call government, the incompetence, so when I complain about Cameroon government, now you want to bring her inside. The laziness, now you want to bring them. The ineptitude, all the things when I don't ever complain about poor beer, when I say so, when I complain about when ourselves in less than 3 years of say, when I get government. Okay, when I listen, it's everything. It said many LGHS and many executive members are there just as figureheads. Such passiveness is nothing less than enabling. They do not even comment when people in their LGA or counties are killed. It said many do not pay their draft through pledged, even though they pledged, said they will pay draft, they don't pay. That way me I can't tell when I say this thing where they call and say draft, word draft, na noise, na nonsense, na nonsense where the joke can talk for Facebook. The people they can't talk say, I pledged $2,000, I pledged 200 euros, na noise. They do it now when they hear, now themselves they can't talk now. For Facebook, because Amazon, I don't get friend, they don't get secret. All things they happen for Facebook. Now listen. It said they are therefore mandatory meetings with president or APP, hardly present during the draft. Okay, you never see their names on emergency fund drives. Okay, when time reach for move money for pocket, they don't move on. Okay, we'll see this one now. It took 3 hours ago. It say John Baakuro is a liar. Blah 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 blah. It start talking the go. Now Amber versus Amber. This we'll go to the next tweet or the next post we post on for your Facebook page. It's 3 hours ago again. Uchiba Anderson talks say, good day, house. Can you, comrades, explain the motive of deactivating fighting counties to ferry the fighters to the CDN organized retreat in Canada? It says, secondly, why should any Ambazonian who professes to be fighting for war of independence stop fighting in the midst of intense war? And then thirdly, how does an active or actively fighting people collaborate with non-fighting or deactivated fighting groups? It's a fourthly and correspondingly, can we call the non-fighting elements brothers and sisters? Now that the question who be their brother and who be their sister, or who no be and who no be. Okay. Now listen, it's a interesting program and position clarification of IG vis-a-vis the CDN conference where blah 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 nonsense. So now just one example that my contributor. I just one can give you now one example. The infighting where it happened, but we know very well, so we no need to go far for discuss about the infighting where it happened in Amber World, my contributor. I will continue by playing for now this beautiful 1 minute clip. My contributor, na tapang Ivotanku. Now listen.
Facebook, some digital platform, I don't know how to substantiate it, calling you a terrorist, and you're panicking. Maybe that's why you're rushing to Canada to prove a point that terrorists do negotiate. No, last maybe 1 year, I've not been active. Because anything I post, I am banned. In fact, this particular page is someone's page who literally changed his name to my name just for me to have a presence on Facebook.
Hail, hail, hail the Kumkumasa, we the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Kumkumasa, Kumkumasa, you shall free our country from terror, and your blessing shall be like the stars above. The Most High God shall be your guide.
Thank you plenty, my contributor. All the black legs when I don't assemble now when I make them possible for we for the platform all this shit no white blast the way they become on Facebook for 2016, 17, and 18. They be get monopoly for talk whatever they want for talk for Facebook, for do whatever they want for do for Facebook. But because we assemble ourselves, we the black legs for 2018, we don't show them pepper to the extent where they cry publicly, they actually talk and say this. So Facebook, it don't ban them, and Facebook, it call them now terrorists. When I wait that way, we don't work so hard for achieve them, my contributor them. Every single black leg we there for house today. I want you for pat yourself on the back because then now you don't achieve this victory. For deplatform them and also for make them understand this so they don't get monopoly on Facebook anymore. Now we get monopoly. Now we the control Facebook. Now, my contributor, I want to play this audio, make you understand one of the best audios that I ever hear Mark Barretta a record them. Now for tell you how important the part where we will be playing for Facebook for fight this ambassador terrorism it be. When I listen.
My people them for ground zero. My brothers and sisters them for ground one. My able comrades them what they did for inside diaspora. On a good morning. This is the voice of Comrade Mark Barretta. Today is the 30th of June in the year of our Lord 2021. I the one send this audio for remind Amazonians say Cameroon agents and Cameroon government. These Cameroon agents, most of them, they receive no money from French Cameroon. But because they have this pent-up anger against Amazonia, they don't decide for help Cameroon government for attack us.
Yes.
The only person who will know very well say they receive money from French Cameroon, now this so-called Michael people, them this Tito Skonda. So it do everything possible for justify the money where French Cameroon is paying.
Yes.
Psychologically, we are weakened.
True.
Psychologically, there are many people who belong to no group that they don't say okay because they are Amazonian and their face is not out there. Every month they'll be contributing money to wherever county or group where they belong. But when they see and say we have continued fighting ourselves, or they see and say there is a video out against Group A or B, those people are being weakened. They say okay, if you are fighting among yourself, then I'm keeping my money. So this French Cameroon, they know what they are doing. They want to distract us from telling the world on what is happening on the ground. And I've been so very painful and very angry. Say, we Amazonians, we are the ones helping these people. Because I get in more than 30 WhatsApp groups. Now, listen, propaganda an act of war.
When I hear
misinformation, an act of war. And the enemy camp, they are doing it very well against us.
Thank you.
Very well against us. And when they do and so, then we are coming to disclaim. We are coming to disclaim. Then we some point they share. They were falling into what into what they want. Verify from the say this one is so and so. Now, or you go to the official website. You know, see my website called barentanews.com. You know my official Twitter. I don't go. Now, good morning.
Okay, so my contributor, when I don't hear that one, na Mark Barretta, na Barretta News, na you talk am. So it tell when I say this, so they know they pay the black legs them, but the black legs they get what we describe them as pent up anger. Who's that the pent up anger? It come out. Now the question that they get for answer and for themselves. What's that the pent up anger? It come out. And now what's this way? These people they nobody ever expect them say this so they could get people like we, you know, country people them black legs and where they can assemble for fight them back. They will just believe say this so once they pick up guns, they could threaten every person. They could force the ordinary Anglophone Cameroonian for be silent or go into exile. They could threaten. And now why that way when I see them for the topic of discussion today, I talk about legitimacy, the fight for legitimacy. May I bring back the poster on the screen for Namuna Siam. I talk about the infighting, sabotage, and the fight for supremacy and legitimacy. And why Ayaba Cho Lucas, it don't blink. Why way they get this so-called Cameroon conference, the CDN, for Canada. Okay, my contributor. So I go play for una audios now about that Canada conference. When I listen attentively. But before I even go for that audio, I want to thank every single person where they here, they join and they share and make it go far and wide. For example, get just in case Emma Wu, Emma Amber, and the rest where they did for Perika, and the rest. So I want to play for una this audio. Now Amber themselves the recorder. When I listen.
The first way they control and tanker, we don't send that message all the time and they try to talk about it for you. So the truth we didn't say the truth about Indian government. Indian government be very useless because they need the forward waiting. Nobody tell you last time. Indian government need to work, do no nothing. Whatever down there, so Indian government need to move some squad where you get to be an anti-kidnapper squad because if you see black like the planes if you play no same thing way soldier they do for that place they not fine. Like all the days, but for them are only inside town here every day for carry people. Kidnapping. And for waiting. Sure, we don't reason level where people they don't over the tired thing. Soldier they never do a good thing they don't even do bad thing again with civilian or they complain. But every day they catch man. Every day they catch man go there every day. But for they come out into town every day. Now wait, how people they know the vex? But we talk about black leg no be government get black leg. Now no be the pay black leg. Now we gonna people they down the soldier in the course. Because we can catch man go take 700, 800, 1 million. That man if ever be happy with you when a man with you and ED for you Anglophone. Now all that kind of thing is so. That man when he be the top for any place they fear you. General cause and die, they know the truth. Now one day, and I got one, now ye. So carry now so as we did happen, I did late time so only tomorrow we will hear what I know it's happen.
So that one na audio where it come out from Bamenda after that shit no wipe la so-called General Cross and Die, they wipe the fool. Where now one black leg, you see the idiot. They call military, they come and civil, they come wipe the food through him. Now the same Anglophone way, the person who record this audio, obviously when I fit tell an Amber. But they did tell when I say, me when I stop that nonsense when I talk about Antanganji boys or say Cameroon government, they pay some person for become black leg. That is not true. Say na Amber be very capable for make all the black legs when we need them. I don't always tell una. When I can't kidnap some person, as the woman quote example, when I go take 700,000 or 1 million francs, you expect say the person it will look you now how. You expect say the same person it will continue to look you this smile. You expect say the same person where you don't treat it that way. It go collaborate with you, it go work with you willingly. Come on, now common sense. So the thing it don't backfire. And now the people them they feel the consequence of their own actions because now the Anglophones now them deliver this devil called Amazonia. Now them nurture them, now them finance them, now them sponsor them, Now them encourage them. Now they are picking them they inside that bush, and it don't backfire on the Anglophones because no other person need to suffer the consequence of Anglophone man's own stupidity except for the Anglophone man. So now why that way? We don't always tell when I say, for we black legs, like some people they say, oh, patriots and this and that. Me, I differentiate myself. I be black leg, Kumkumasa, the king of all the black legs. I never ever call myself say I be patriot. Okay? Black legs and we get now one mission. And when I don't see them for our logo, for everything, now to destroy Ambazonia terrorism. That is it. We don't get two jobs. Now for destroy Ambazonia terrorism. Okay? Everything else, it comes secondly. Or now secondarily. Okay? So we definitely have to destroy Ambazonia terrorism. Now black legs their own work that. We know to call ourselves patriots. We're there here focused for do one thing. So now themselves they can't confirm code say these people they get pent up anger. That no money to pay them, but they work actively for destroy Ambazonia terrorism. Why is that? That woman don't answer the question for now. Themselves they know that they confirm code. So now we will play the next few audios them. It be this next 4 or 5 audios them. They be specifically about the Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiation, the Cameroon conference, or One Cameroon agenda, where it happened for Canada. It is still go on as we speak. Now listen. Now I'm bad at the talk.
If Tapang Iwo of all people, if he come out to say he prefer for talk for Sako, he come down at Bopala, man, Tapang Iwo. This guy we know very well say this outing will cause disorder. It will cause, that means La Republic will take this outing, put them now for public, tell the world how one big egg of C officials, ADF officials you don't bash the ADF. I don't deny what you the ADF do. This guy really know what you do. And more no surprise. One thing we ever know and say, if an idiot like this, if he come out, how short, how stupid, how foolish he be, more acceptance and more throw you inside a trash can because this guy know the disaster where he cause him for come out talk this rubbish. He even go ahead for talk say Dr. Ayaba Cho no been at the best of all leaders there. Man, it's so surprising to hear this from Tapang Ivo. But for me, I think say one thing be very clear. He don't surely take some drugs. We don't totally damage his brain. Mm-hmm. And maybe one not think and say the drugs we don't take him. It will bring back Tapang Ivo to normalcy. More you consider say that one a dead corpse will not be treat them again. More you throw away that one for trash can. Because what we talk it be worse than 10 BRM. It be worse than even France. So more just throw away you may go dialogue with Sako as he prefer for dialogue with Sako than Abobala. More just forget about it completely. More not even think and say go come back to your normal senses.
You guys should go and tell Sako that he made a big mistake, and as he's been doing. You remember the last time, the previous sitting that the court had, Sako did not attend, and his team. I told you I was very angry, and you came out and argued with me. You say you're just partisan, my brother. You're just being partisan here. You people don't even know what they're doing. That's why sometimes I don't have time to argue. Sometimes I look at certain things I just say, let sleeping dogs lie. It doesn't make any sense to me because you are arguing on what? What are you arguing on? Somebody I am inside telling you what is happening. You are arguing with me. What? That foolish to me. You didn't share matter. There are things in this. I've never seen things like this in my life. Never. Jesus Christ. There's no time. We are preparing to go and finalize the session. Go and meet. Go. There are people in this forum. Go meet the British High Commissioner representative, the attaché. It's a British man. Who used the word, I used 12 hours to get here and to listen to this trash. How you people are divided. Do you know what you are doing to yourself? The British government is ready to support you guys. But you need to come together. Come together and talk one voice. Listen to what you are doing. And when they are talking, people come here and write nonsense all over the place here. You people are crazy. Bubiana, you are crazy. Imagine the Swiss initiative or the Swiss whoever represented the Swiss was asking of the IG Sako that this was a golden opportunity to come and meet people and forge a way through. Why are they? Did somebody particular? One of the lady, white woman, I think she was representing the HD. She particularly called that IG act or whatever thing. That why are they not here? Can you imagine a thing like that? Can you? It is just funny. I don't want to get into these things. I don't want to be emotional.
Of my brothers, if we don't put these two.
Peter Bruce, may I also use this opportunity to say Ayaba participated online. Ayaba had a link that was given to him. Though others are also annoyed that they were not given the opportunity to participate online. But Mba Akuru was online, Ayaba was online, Gideon was online. I personally worked and make sure that line, the online line, was given to Gideon. And Jennifer was online to participate. Ayaba virtually insulted some of the participants, like the international community. He was like, he shattered them. They were with their pens on a paper, jotting down stuff. You understand? And let me say this again. You see, Yamagi also. Yamagi was so insulted. How do you call it? The Swiss representative, the lady who was representing the HD. They insulted. I would say insult because they asked the lady to walk out of the house. That she is not ready. If they're not ready to go in for to carry on to bring that on the table, the lady should walk out. I don't just want to go ahead saying these things here because it was highly securized. They don't want anything to go out because if you take these things out, and the High Commissioner, the British High Commissioner representative from Yaoundé was very angry with us. He said it all. He said it. He said, you guys are so disorganized, so fractionized, and so how do I put it? He said, I traveled 12 hours to come and listen to your nonsense. How you are so divided. That a lot of diplomats are not willing to work with us because we are so divided. He was so angry and asked them if the Swiss representative. I don't just want to be saying these things here. This is breach of contract. You know, I wouldn't go into all these things. Peter Bruce, take it the way you want to take it now. Bye.
My brothers, if we don't put these two things, communication, collaboration, we are doomed to fail. Cameroon will beat us hands down at the negotiation table. Maybe we sit in our little tight corners, we think that we have a case. No, Cameroon also has a better case to put in front of that table. Legally, when it comes to legal issue, Cameroon can argue that case. And they have solid foundation. And we cannot be pushing away our brothers, the federally. When you are pushing them, where do you think they will go? The Cameroon is pushing them that they don't want federation. You are pushing them that they don't want federation. Where do you think they will go? They will sit in the middle, and when Cameroon realizes that they are frustrated, they say, you see, your brother having trouble, come to me. They will go there. And once they go there, they will make life miserable to you. Because you cannot get that territory without them. Just put it in your head. Nationalists should put that in their head. Exactly. I am a nationalist, but in my dream, in my head, I know already that I cannot get that territory and live peacefully without my brothers, the federalists.
Exactly.
So it's high time we start keeping away all these things. I cannot talk with federalists. I cannot do this. I cannot. Or you at the end, you will meet at the negotiation table, whether you like it or not. And that's why, if you look, all my writings have been talking of collaboration. And I keep talking, despite the fact that people come and make noise and challenge me and say, oh, what collaboration, what this? It's because at one point I looked at they are myopic. They don't even look at the future. Maybe they don't even know why we are fighting. Because some people just say we are fighting for independence. What fighting for independence? Is that what you are fighting? There are a lot of things that will lead you to independence. It is not just a matter of just fighting for independence. There are many things you have to put in place. But you know that this coalition for negotiation team, they were just so ambitious. Just like our forefathers who went to Fumba without preparation, they just left. And that's why when they went there to Switzerland, the Republic Ambassador was saying a different thing. Sako IGs were saying a different thing. Buhebe was saying a different thing. And Kakwanga was saying a different thing there. And they end up, I think John Bakoro was even there.
What happened? They end up falling apart. John Bakoro left, the Republic of Ambazonia left. Even before the Republic of Ambazonia left, they contacted me. I take responsibility for what I'm saying. They contacted me for advice, which was good. They asked me. There is a tape recorded where I advised them to leave, and they did. The next 4 hours, they sent out a publication. We came from the NCT. I did that. I'm holding responsibility for that as an advisor to this revolution. Because I told them clearly that you cannot, the act will go nowhere with the HD. Because you cannot do that alone. You cannot. You have to make sure you bring your federalist brothers. You make sure you bring your other nationalist brothers. You sit and decide what is best for Ambazonia. That is how we will build Ambazonia. Whether somebody is here, he likes it or not, that is the person's problem. Ambazonia will be built on consensus, not on authoritative or isolated ideas owned by either the AGC or the IG Shako or the Ruwa. No, it will be built on consensus. That is what some of us stands for. That is what we believe is the best solution for Ambazonia. So my brother, to solve what we are saying, start preaching communication and collaboration. Start helping your brother from your base, from where you sit.
Thank my plenty, my contributor. So when I don't listen to those audios, not them they talk. So now for 2021, when I don't hear out of frustration that they talk about collaboration and communication. Why? Because finally, after 5 years, where the things say they go manhandle and they go force all Anglophones them for fall in line with their own agenda, they don't see and say it failed. They don't finally realize, say, we, the black legs, them, we, the country people, them, we, the victims of their terrorism, we, the so-called federalists, we, the so-called unionists, we are not going anywhere. They don't realize them for themselves now. Say they no fit do anything. Like that last audio, he talk and say, "Una no good things say una go get that so-called Ambazonia for that territory, then control them without una brothers and way na federalists. Una brother they una don't castigate them, call them blacklegs, enablers, sardinats, all kind of names that una don't call them. How una think say una go ever succeed when we una own enemy? And they look at una every time when I look in the mirror. How will I go ever succeed? How brother a go turn kill brother and then one for succeed? How is that possible? When I make enmities them everywhere. Maybe when I understand say all this infighting when me had to talk about, it don't get nothing for do with Cameroon government to make I explain that one, make it be clear. This infighting when me had to talk about, it not even get to do with the Anglophones. This infighting when we talk about this evening are just Amber versus Amber. Because within the country of Cameroon, you get, obviously, you get the Francophone side and you get the Anglophone side. Now, within the Anglophone side, you get the Federalists, you get the Unionists, and then you get the Separatists and the Terrorists. Now, within the Federalists, you still get a division. So you get people the way they advocate for 10-state federation, you get the one they advocate for 2 states, and then you get the one they advocate for 4 states. So all of these diverse opinions and diverse, how can I put it, agendas, they get to be listened to. They get to be considered. And if we are not consider them, we are not listen to them, then you are just swimming upstream because you fight against the tide. You go head to head against other forces. No matter how powerful your own be, the other force, they will reduce your own energy. It's as simple as that. So, but then when we are both they go downstream, when we are they travel the same direction, when they work with each other, now with that communication and collaboration, it come in. And then when I get a hope of success. But right now, when they hear themselves, they talk for their audios and everything about how this is doomed to fail without collaboration and communication. How would I do things when I go get Ambazonia without the traditional rulers? How is that possible? Without the Anglophone elites, the political leaders like Nijon Frundi, like the Fonon Saw, like all the other people that were ministers, them like His Excellency Chief Dr. Dion Gute, how when I be thinking when I go get the territory, when I go control them, and then kick out people them like Philemon Yang, Dion Gute, Countryman, Fonon Saw, all the funds them for Fako and Nijon Frundi, and look at your enemies. Now people that will not declare and say now we're not enemies. How would I be even think that it could be possible? The slightest chance of success, it will come on from where? For whose side? So now one of the reasons is after 4 or 5 years of this nonsense where Ayaba Cho talk about say no blinking, we will not blink and all that nonsense. It don't come full circle. It don't dawn on me. Say it is so. The talk said they don't go ever even dialogue with federalists. The talk said they don't go ever even be for the same room with federalists. But guess what? Now in that Ayaba Cho inside the same room with Yerima, inside the same room with Agbobala, inside the same room with that moderator for PCC and other people, them other Anglophones. And this one are just the Ambazonians, the way they try for dialogue amongst themselves. Because after Ambazonians, when are the terrorists, they don't finally unite amongst themselves, then they get to come now for can't get a consensus with the federalists and the unionists. After they don't unite with the federalists and the unionists, then now they can't get a consensus with the blacklegs, the victims, and those of us. And then once they don't get consensus, we win. And then that one now the Anglophones, they don't come now as a people. Then now we fit confront, or we fit now sit, or we fit now talk with them now in a position where we fit dialogue with Cameroon government or with Yaoundé. Because Ambazonians, they don't represent all Anglophones. Make I just tell you that one. Okay. And the federalists, they do not represent all Anglophone voices. They don't. It's as simple as that. People, they obviously, it'd be very obvious. Say the federalists, they didn't represent all Anglophone voices because the separatists, them, the Amba terrorists, they don't really talk to the federalists, they don't really represent them. Just like how we, the blacklegs, the country people, them, and the unionists, we don't talk, say, Amba shit, no white blast terrorists, they didn't represent we. So until all of these stakeholders, them, they be together, they assemble, they talk with one voice, even the so-called dialogue, it be impossible. And then ask no man at the teller. It be impossible. When I listen.
Argument will ever end until we really until these two points reconcile. And why would they fight for social media, international community, they take note. Our independence, they delay. 10 days at every day the past we lost 10% support. We will not hide in our faces. We will not put our face outside here. If this revolution fails today, our families are there for trouble. We still there for trouble. We fight it not because we want me and free, because we get any gain. We fight now because we believe in the freedom of homeland. And today, despite everything, we only not any contribution, only one face don't put out there. The things don't talk. If we don't reconcile these two people and forget about the revolution, I talk. Now the only solution this, I mean everything that talk. If we must come in on board for reconcile these two people. Forget about all the crickets. Social media, they make all the noise. Fire. All will have resign naturally. Look at one of our brothers, where they call Chem Liu. The person that did for Washington DC conference. Now, the top best Ambazonian organizer that. The person did for Dr. Sakwe back 24/7. But he don't do it. He don't resign. I'm telling you, before I don't really know, but we do that all you know, I don't resign. Chem Liu only do it publicly because we know you. It come up for all Ambazonian WhatsApp groups. It come up for all teams. The man that will contribute money, $2,000, $1,000. He do all teams. Fly from Canada, come to America, but he don't to say he don't tire. Every my own woman for house, my family, people they tell say I was fighting at the fight. Every day on the fight, and I said, wait to be wrong. You, Tato, you don't reconcile with your brother. We like them. But why the other point they fight? I say I don't know, mommy. I don't know, papa. That is the question everybody's asking. When I need to shame social media crickets. When I use fake profiles, go down, go do nothing. We will not go. We not work freely. Because anytime somebody can be killed, you don't know what the regime can do. But therefore, I make sure someone that divide the IG. It don't work. And I don't talk say, oh, we'll not be kicked. I'll be fire, I'll be smoke. This is how it's going to be. We need unity and no way, no the way. Some person think oppose my opportunity for time with trouble day. When I want to fight for how long? Now business. When I want to meet end. When I want to continue for being relevant. When I wait, the war for end. We don't tire and we forget unity for the war for end.
They don't tire.
It's one a simple thing. ABC. Especially for how square we need. You ask yourself why the man do this thing at this time? He don't already do it. So you want to talk to it again. English man said, do not cry over spilled milk. She said, for not do it, you don't do it. Again, this is where we do it. It ain't wrong for me and for you, but it ain't right for some people. The Sako don't do what we know do it. It ain't right for Sako and for you and for me, but it ain't wrong for some people. Anyway, when I go, all man get justification. And the only way that we say, you know what, let's stop this, let's unite. That is it. So, any social media people will say, this revolution and revolution will cricket them, where they hide and fail, they can do division with the IG. Someone that the public sponsor that. When I come into responses, or I can say, Eric is a federalist. What nonsense? I say, what nonsense? Federalists will go disrupt federalism meeting for buoy. If you don't get anything for state, for stop, crickets or that, she don't go back for her host. We don't take this nonsense again from moving them for social media people. We don't tire all the social media. If today we will fail, God forbid, now some of we will get the highest problem. Anything they give amnesty letter, we'll go that country, they will still make when they can't kill it because they will not say, if this policy for the country, they will be out in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, this start different revolution. So make una take una time, social media will win them. All una win them for social media. Una know ourselves. Una know ourselves. We know we talk this thing go further. If una feel say una be righteous, una can't tell me, una name all una good them, una tell me say una never do bad. What nonsense? Put no rest. Fake audios here, this one conspiracy theories. Oh, this man has done this one has done this. On this one, they promise to keep Barrister fool. If you know, man, the whole place that chaos is correct. And now when you try to pacify, when I can't talk nonsense. When I continue, we'll see how long it will last. 10 days, any man disappoint a person, then when that person will go, my turn, the man is super Amazonia, it will remain. And that is where I stand. Nonsense. Before I want to make noise, bring we what you don't do. Museum. Bring your face, museum. Look at the make noise. When I really support.
Someone I don't hear my contributor, that one Eric Tato, where he be talk he leave that audio where he be so angry about the infighting between the two so-called IG them. So when I hear the frustration way there for your voice, as they talk and say so, even some of them they don't ever return back for Cameroon regardless, because of the things the way they don't talk the things the way they don't do which is just the truth. And one of the reasons this way Operation Sunshine it be so vital, it be so important for we for March Fire with Sunshine, for make sure say the people the way they don't be responsible for destroy the Anglophone zone, they get their payment, they be paid in their own coins. So they will reap no benefit out of it, my contribution. So when a March Fire with the Sunshine them, we make sure say they be held accountable, they get consequences for their bad behavior. So now wait that even Eric Tato, they articulate and say this, so the consequence that they, and when I hear high talk, they say we don't tire. When I know why I made this thing end, they don't tire. And it goes again for explain why Ayaba Cho it don't blink. Ayaba Cho they talk today, so no blinking, this and that. So I get more evidence for playful now. As I tell una this, I do my presentations them, and then they overtalk. I did let themselves so they could talk. And then when I listen to this next audio where it come out from Amber World, this one it come on this evening today, the 2nd of November 2021. When I listen to frustration.
Fellow ambassadors, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Now, I'm Commissioner for Ground Zero. Today, on November the 2nd, 2021,
the idiot in the play na European, I don't even know, I think American or na European. American or European music, military music.
All the captains, commander, and foot soldiers will agree to now Commissioner for Ground Zero. Wonderful, let us know say the revolution is in a panic mode.
Panic.
So we are level of panicking for this revolution.
Panic.
It don't be elevated to yellow.
Yellow.
We are level of panicking. It don't be elevated to yellow. So for this reason, effective November the 5th, anybody where they say they live one Cameroon, they don't be under house arrest. All these gangsters that go for Canada, including the bishop and the pope, effective November the 5th, that's on Friday, they did for 3 months house arrest. All the people who go for Canada.
Yes.
For what they talk for one Cameroon. I say effective November.
Yes.
The 5th, they will be on the house arrest of ground zero. And they don't be banned for their street. They don't be banned for attend any church service. They don't be banned for attend any conference anywhere for the world. Anytime when I go see them, when I go shoot them, when I go kill them. My name is Willie. All those who they attend meeting for Canada, they talk one Cameroon. They on the house arrest effective November the 5th, 2021 until March the 1st. Commander there for ground zero, full soldier them. When I see them, when I go shoot them, kill them. All the LG chair people them and defense chair people them, when I go enforce this law for ground zero. When I go enforce this law for ground zero. Restorational forces of FACO, when I go take care for those of FACO. Restorational forces of for Menchum, Manu, all over the place when I go take care for them. All those that go for Canada, where the whole meeting, they talk one Cameroon, they be on the house arrest effective November the 5th. That's on Friday for 3 months, 2021. They lift the house arrest will be lifted effective March the 1st, 2022. So they get 3 months house arrest. Even when I see them for any public gathering, when I go shoot them, kill them. When I see them for restaurant and bar, when I go shoot them, kill them. They know when they go outside, they cause confusion. If they be smart enough, they get from now to the 5th of this November, I they pack, go for Yaoundé. They all over for separate, they go from the ship, now for shoot them, kill them. When you shoot the person, we say one Cameroon. You don't go stay for house where the person they burn you, they kill you, they shoot you. And then somebody jump up, say one Cameroon, now the same person that will shoot you. We're not going to remember for which forever. To God be the glory. When I will enforce this law to the least, when I will see any of this sell out them, when I will shoot them. Now for those who did it for diaspora, where they attend that meeting for Canada, where they talk for one Cameroon, when I will report their property, if they get property for ground zero, when I will report them with the LGJ people, then when the LGJ people and defense chief, and when I was inbox for me, Willie, my phone number is 832-754-4240. That's +1 832-754-4240. When I go tell me inside the property day, when I go stand up on a LG chairperson, so that this property then will relocate them by force for French Cameroon. To God be the glory. We're not going to remain for bush, as some people remain for town. We call the house slaves. They go around, they sell us. Nobody will sell us anymore. All the traveling agencies, taxi drivers, when I be careful. If you see when I with these people, they don't ban them. When inside Southern Cameroon, we will burn the person inside the motor. I said effective November the 5th, 2021, till March the 1st. They're under house arrest, including the bishop and the pope and the moderator. You know, call them, you know yourself. If you go for Canada, we'll get a picture, we'll get everything. We don't send them the various commander them. I want to go reinforce them to the list. Now they're under house arrest. Commander, they want to go shoot to kill. If I see them outside, if you're a man of God, remember for your church, you do your mass. You come outside, you don't die.
Enjoy, yeah.
I'll tell you the truth.
Okay.
I want to stay blessed.
So after I talk all that ones to threaten bishop, threaten the moderator for PCC, threaten all man on the surface of this earth, he end the nonsense by saying we must stay blessed. But of course, now God's ordained revolution on our way to the talk. That's what it is. So that is the state of their so-called revolution. Now not themselves they talk. No, me I talk. If me I talk today, so they be panicked. If me I talk today, so they be in yellow. When I go talk to no, continue they talk to because you be black leg because you know one make it succeed. Guess what? Now them now that they talk. Now if you understand the state of panic where it forced Ayaba Cho Lucas for go blink, for go now for start the enter conference with federalists. You think that the federalists, the way they did for they go for go capitulate? They go for go talk say, okay, we roll over and turn our bellies up and we succumb to you because when I carry chaka from Khaidai guns. No. The federalists they for defend their own angle and their own perspective and their own interests for get federalism. Okay? And by the day too for talk about their own, and the only way for get a consensus now for meet up in the middle. Something where it go appeal to both parties. Now, the federalists, they go drag the amber sheet no blast them towards federation. While the amber sheet no blast, they go also try to drag the federalists towards separatism. And they go meet somewhere in the middle forever get a consensus, they must meet somewhere in the middle. No person no go just capitulate it talk say okay una take am go because they will not be waiting because they will over super special. Before I want to continue my control, I want to show you something quickly because me I always talk my thing as show plus evidence. I want to go for Tapang Ivo Tanku, the current account where Facebook don't ban you go create another account. The one we create you know even be capable for create account anymore na Kiki Pascal the account. So mass search the Nkunyam Tapang Ivo, the account where they use them now. Now give me 1 second. So now in this I talk Martin and show evidence. Now the account that way he use them now. Now in that now what is this way post them 11 minutes ago while way why would they here? 1 second. Okay, so sorry about that distraction. So 11 minutes ago, while we contemand everyday life, now what that way Tapang Ivo post them, it said we must reset the current revolution back to 2017. It's a commentator Elvis just said so 2 weeks ago. He should lead a delegation to Oslo, Norway. He said, I will push this through. He said, leadership is not kingship, but humility. USA leaders should humble themselves and converge on Oslo. Tapang. So, I don't even first see me this post before I come live as evident because the fact say we don't do live now for almost 1 hour and Tapang make this post 11 minutes ago. So now just if we just pick any of the embassy no last them earlier I be pick na Uchiba Nelson own I go read what we want to see una go see the nonsense for ourselves, okay? And now I don't pick na Tapang on randomly. Now what is this it post them 4 hours ago it talks about it. Tapang say the Ambassador War is a unique case of most of the most complicated war in global politics. There is no solution to it other than asking Cameroon to pull out immediately. Words are very powerful, especially when they come out from, or the individual, where the words they come out of, they be very powerful. When I know they talk say Tapang be powerful or whatever, but when you consider the facts, he be actually being at the so-called leader of the so-called consortium. Yes. Tapang and Mark Barretta, they will be after the arrest at Bobala Lockham for January 2017. Now Tapang and the other Nkunya, Mark Arata, they will be the leaders of the so-called consortium. So now the people in that, where Anglophones, they will put their hopes on. Where they believe they will come out there, they talk today, so they go talk on behalf of all Anglophones, my country. But just imagine the madness. So now Tapang talks with him. Okay, as I talk about the words where people they choose to use. When I see this word for here, wait, make it be now. What is the Tapang post them 4 hours ago, just before I come live? It's other than asking. That's the key word. Would not be carrying guns for ask Cameroon government make it pull out of una so-called territory. So when you carry gun, go face some person, you need to go ask he anything. You need to go force he out. This one, just the choice of words, is an admission of failure. Now surrender that. Okay? That one now already surrender. Where Ambazonia, okay, look, now only them they talk about is that conferences are only a waste of time if Cameroon has not been ordered. Ordered by who? Ordered to pull out completely. Ordered by who? You are supposed to force them. Now, why did they call and say armed forces? When you carry guns, you're armed. You go project force. Make una start amber terrorism. I beg una be over too stupid. Start to use the right words. Talk say we are going to force Cameroon out of our territory. Talk say other than forcing Cameroon out of our territory. Not talk say you ask them, make them pull out. You go beg it, make it pull out. You go begging our gun, say make it pull out. Make una understand just the words the way they use them for tell when I say they be defeated. Okay, look, wait where they talk them. A ceasefire will not work. Who the first talk about ceasefire? Now only the ambush no weapons terrorists them. They say cessation of hostilities will not work. Okay, it will not work. Keep the hostilities coming. When I don't see some person complain about hostilities, me I need to complain me. Yaoundé need to complain me. I didn't for Yaoundé right now. So we need to complain about cessation of hostilities them. So why are you talking about it? Why? Continue the hostilities. It's a justice will not work. Why are you talking about justice? Just continue to be doing the injustice. When I call with black legs, when I don't kill our family members, them seize our properties, them kidnap our family members for ransom, all those things, them. We still there here with the fight una. We go force una. We go compromise una. Now what is that with the force una? We need to ask una for drop una guns. We need to ask una for leave we alone. No. Now what I would tell una say stop begging us for dialogue. It's a truth and reconciliation no go work. Why are you talking about that? If you not be una don't lose. Una don't already be defeated. Now the words of the defeated Nkunyam then they say peace will not work. No, we're not there here for advocate peace with Amba terror. We're there here for advocates for destroy Ambazonia terrorism. End of discussion. So when I see Countryman, I hope say my voice is a bit clear. If my voice is a bit clear, I want to hear Countryman very well. When I type, I'm sending up a comment section. Say when I hear Countryman very well, my Countryman. When I type, I'm sending up a comment section. In the meantime, when I listen to Tapang Ivo again, when I type, I'm sending up a comment section. If when I feel listen to Countryman very well.
There is so much division happening right now in the Ambazonian revolution that we have to start focusing on our own selves. Let me repeat. There is so much division. These divisive diasporan Ambazonians that we have to start focusing on our own selves. Ambazonians are running behind Canada with empty hands. Cameroon was not even part of it because Cameroon is not blinking. But we Ambazonians, we are the ones blinking. Each time they wave at us, we blink. Each time they wave, we blink. Stupid. Completely stupid. What are we afraid of? Are we afraid because Facebook labeled us terrorists? Who is Facebook? Facebook is a non-state actor. Irrelevant to the point where it even changes its name to Meta. Talking to you. Why are you blinking? Why are you blinking? Tell me who is more strategic. Isn't La République du Cameroon more strategic than the people of Amazonia?
Good question.
More strategic than our mindsets? For now, we are not yet at power parity with La République du Cameroon. How does La République du Cameroon function in Amazonia? They roll out their cars. Yes. They roll out their hillocks, machine guns. They walk motorized. But we walk on foot. We are not yet at power parity.
Power parity.
We are not yet at power parity.
Thank you.
We are not yet at power parity. Yet we are rushing for their so-called dialogue. We have to focus on building our internal selves first.
First things first, my contributor. When I hear what we talk about power parity na big grammar for grabbing canas. Yeah, ma tell una straight away. Power parity na big grammar for grabbing canas, okay? The main reason why when many countries they get armed forces, now one word they call them say deterrent. For una way, may I spell them on the screen for una, okay? They call them say, oops, now in this, if I'm not mistaken, okay? To deter, it means that you prevent a bad thing from happen before it happens. Deterrence, okay? So the number one reason why you get an armed force now deterrence for stop people there for make sure say. Another country, for example, now because say the United Kingdom it get nuclear weapons, China it go think twice before it ever attack the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom no intention for use the nuclear weapons, but they get the nuclear weapons and they make sure that the whole world knows that they get the nuclear weapons. That one are grabbing canas. It means say you don't display your military might to the world before they even think for can attack you because they know the consequence of what will it will happen if they dare for attack you. So now when I talk, I don't go on our own military, when I get on our own so-called Aba boys with the carry chaka from Clyde on the ground. If I get power parity, when I feel power, when I talk about coming onto the negotiation table as equal partners, then can't fight with equally. When I reach that so-called power parity way, we feel look when eye to eye for battlefield. We see and say this, so we know if it beat these people them and they know if it beat we. Then maybe we will start talk. That not grabbing kind of that. When we read that power parity, then we will start talk. But when I don't already start to talk, when I already start to go for all kind of negotiation, for dialogue and negotiation, all kind of conventions, all kind of this. And the funniest thing is, all this dialogue where we the one time and where they fail, now only Amber and Amber. We never even engage the Federalists yet. We never even engage the Black Legs and the Unionists yet. And then after we engage, what may they even talk? Within the interim government alone, IG1 and IG2, they never see eye to eye. Let alone for go see eye to eye with AGOVC. After IG1 and IG2, they don't unite, they collaborate, they communicate. Then now they would then go see AGOVC, they unite or they communicate or they collaborate. And then after AGOVC and the other two IG, they don't come together. Now then they get to go see Akwanga. When the separatists, they fit talk with one voice, then now the fit then can engage we. When now on the other side, when are Federalists and Unionists. And then after that, before now, if we even talk, say, we'll even get 1% chance for good dialogue with the Cameroon government. That is how it's supposed to happen. So power parity, what they talk and say, the Amber, no, he even explain and say this, so how, when I listen, man, no talk.
There's so talking to you. Why are you blinking?
Sorry about that, my contributor. I think now I get some difficulty, my contributor. So sorry about that. When I match when I continue, when I listen, wait with me able to talk about. Make Tapang explain them again about that power parity and why are they blinking? When I not get power parity, how come? In fact, when I listen,
isn't La République du Cameroon more strategic than the people of Amazonia? Yet we are rushing for their so-called dialogue. We have to focus on building our internal selves first.
So when I hear, he explain them, say the Cameroon military, they enter now inside hillocks, drive around, and while we Amber boys they run out evenings for not affect businesses, so they do the planned maintenance now usually in the evening. So now, yes, so my contributor. Once again, I want to apologize. Now, MTN network, it disturbed. It's normal for this time of the evening, unfortunately. Since I did pay, I don't actually realize I'm saying be normal. MTN, they usually disturb around this time of the evening, between 6 to about midnight, when they do their planned maintenance. MTN, it disturb. So it drop out of 4G and back. So now the problem that way with the get connection problem, I hope say it no over affect time. We will wrap up the live very soon. So make una just bear with we. When I continue for the match fire, for the share and for make it go far and wide my contributor them with the cam. In the meantime, I know that the audience they don't drop since where the live broadcast be interrupted. And I think it don't drop about 60 people and 60 live viewers, but it's okay. I want to play this next video for now when only 14 seconds. Now still for elaborate and for explain for now the level of infighting. This video now Ebenezer Akwanga, where he talk, castigate the guys where they go for the CDN or whatever, Cameroon Agenda Conference for Canada. But then now Ayaba Cho on side, they publish the video. Actually no. Maybe the castigate now the AGOVs, the groups are plenty. When I just listen to the audio, leave me alone.
Parked my car in a parking lot because I thought I need to address this issue. The wahala that we have inside ACT was not caused by Echo. It was caused by greed, by individuals who don't want to respect one another.
So, wait away, Akwanga they talk about ACT. ACT now the so-called Amazonia Coalition Team. Now the guys in that way they include Sakoe Kome, Akwanga, Isasef, Bo Herbert, Yerima. I don't even know if Yerima know Dave or Dave. But anyways, now the guys in this way they advocate for Swiss cheese. So now it talks to the wahala where they get down for ACT. ABB caused because of greed. Hang on a minute. Nobody when I talk say when I want form a new country for separate from Pobia and when I will complain about Cameroon government greed, incompetence, corruption, blah 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 blah. All those things and where when I don't always the complain against the Cameroon government. How market for una Anglophone Cameroonians. How market now listen them again.
Parked my car in a parking lot because I thought I need to address this issue. The wahala that we have inside ACT was not caused by Echo.
It was caused by greed, by individuals who don't want to respect one another.
So when I see I make a video earlier where I post them on this same Facebook page about the Anglophone money problem, Anglophone man. Okay, about how difficult it be for Anglophone people and for work together, for collaborate, for communicate just amongst themselves. See, Akwanga the talk said the wahala where they get them for team act, it not be caused by what is the man name now with Echo na military colonel where it work from Yaoundé, it work now in external intelligence or something like that. It said the wahala where them get them within their own organization, it not be caused by Cameroon government, it be caused now by themselves because of their own greed and their inability for work together. It's simple, and that one are common sense. Because just like, okay, I give you another example. The other day I hear some amber idiots. It talks today so say Cameroon government it be create now Cameroon government it be bring about this division for Anglophones. Now Cameroon government it be create northwest and southwest in order for divide them. Just here. Then I ask the Shumbuse, now who create the Savannah state and the Atlantic state? Now Cameroon government create them for divide one so. Now who create the northern zone and the southern zone? Now Paul Biya create them for divide one so. Come on, Anglophones. What exactly do you want? When I go complain, go up, come down about something where we necessarily could be worst at. And for 1957, the British, they be take one look at the Anglophones. Since from Foncha and Endele time, they see that these people, they not be viable for get a country on their own. And now why that way they be give our forefathers them only two options. Do you wish to gain independence by joining the Federation of Nigeria, or do you wish to gain independence by joining the independent La République du Cameroon? Now the only two questions that way they be asked. And they will give them only those two questions because of the immaturity of the Anglophones them since 1957. They instead for them for unite for create a country where they want, they will go start to do politics. Endele they fight Foncha they fight Endele, they squabble amongst themselves. Now one of the reasons that where they will give only two options. They be saying and say these people they not be mature enough for run a country on their own. Fast forward 60-something years, Anglophones they now they get so-called intellectuals, all man are doctor this, doctor that. Okay, Akwanga SSF call himself doctor. What I pick up was I don't know. Sako, doctor. The other one, Nick Santos, doctor. And all of these non-entities, them Ayaba Cho, native doctor. All of them combined, there is still demonstrating for 2021. Say Anglophones, they still be politically immature. They don't be viable for run their own affairs. They no fit be trusted for be independent. They've been a picking them juvenile and a wider way there is squabble amongst themselves. If when I listen to this audio, the audios that I played earlier, when I go hear one of the things where this person talk about the infighting, when I listen.
My writings have been talking of collaboration. And I keep talking despite the fact.
Peter Bruce. May I also use this opportunity to say Ayaba participated online. Ayaba had a link that was given to him. Though others are also annoyed that they were not given the opportunity to participate online. But Mba Akuru was online, Ayaba was online, Gideon was online. I personally worked and make sure that line, the online line was given to Gideon. And Jennifer was online to participate. Ayaba virtually insulted some of the participants, like the international community. He was like, he shattered them. They were with their pens on a paper, jotting down stuff. You understand? And let me say this again. You see, Yamagi also. Yamagi was so insulted how do you call it? The Swiss representative, the lady who was representing the HD. They insulted. It was, I would say insult, because they asked the lady to walk out of the house that she is not ready. If they're not ready to go in for the to carry on to bring that on the table, the lady should walk out. I don't just want to go ahead saying these things here because it was highly securized. They don't want anything to go out because if you take these things out, and the High Commissioner, the British High Commissioner, representative from Yaoundé, was very angry with us. He said it all. He said it. He said, "You guys are so disorganized, so fractionized, and so how do I put it?" He said, "I traveled 12 hours to come and listen to your nonsense. How you are so divided. That a lot of diplomats are not willing to work with us because we are so divided." He was so angry and asked that if the Swiss representative, I don't just want to be saying these things here. This is breach of contract. You know, I wouldn't go into all these things. Peter Bruce, take it the way you want to take it now. Bye.
When I don't hear no be me I talk him. Now not themselves they talk. The juvenile behavior. They not be competent enough. But this one, then our doctors, at least, will fit forgive John Go Foncha and Endele said they be only grade 3 teachers them. They don't see the world. They don't understand how the world works. They don't understand politics, global politics, and their role in it. But still, they do what they do from 1957 to 1961 for create country where we all enjoy them up to now where they decide for, the same Anglophones decide to destroy them. When I hear, I'm not telling us something when they talk about Fumban, because the person will record this audio, he mentioned Fumban conference briefly. Now, so the Anglophones, they will make the Fumban federal constitution, it be what it will be, because the French part of Cameroon, like the Republic of Cameroon, they will bring their own draft constitution. President Amadou Ahidjo will bring draft constitution for the Federal Republic of Cameroon. And then it held the other side, the Anglophone side now represented by Endele and Foncha and the other people them say, may they bring their own draft constitution, may they debate them for that Fumban conference, and then they could go now, they could get resolutions, then they could then finalize one constitution where the whole country could be run on. And not say many when I don't know this history. When I ask my history teachers them, they could explain them better for now because me I not be history teacher. But the fact na Foncha take the federal constitution of Amadou Ahidjo, it goes shit on you on top, it not even discuss the constitution with the own political partners. When other Anglophones them, it not discuss me. So when they come now for that Fumban conference, the Anglophones were not prepared. You go blame now who? You go blame now who? They began to annul the United Nations trusteeship agreement if they expire. The trusteeship agreement was expiring. So now they tell them for go sit on down, debate and come to a consensus how now will join these two territories then for form the Federal Republic of Cameroon or whatever country we want call them, that one now our business. So now when the two they meet, the Anglophone Cameroon were not prepared. So now they take now the constitution where Ahidjo be draft and bring them, and then they ratify them. It became law, and that's how the constitution of the Federal Republic of Cameroon was formed. Because the Anglophones are juveniles, they were now small beginning where they didn't even know what they do. Since 1957 to 1961 to 2021, same thing. Incompetence, laziness, sabotage. They sabotage themselves. Now I go back now for can't tell about one of my favorite word. And the word this way me I use them for this advert. Time I create this advert for Come Live this evening. Okay? When I say I'm today. Now one of my favorite words that on the screen, sabotage. Okay? For when I hear that word now, when I go talk say, hey countryman, that word it sounds French. Say countryman, you be Franco frog. Yes, it is actually a French word. The word sabotage, it originates from France. Must see if I don't do the honors for now. Now in that. So if you go for Google, search the word sabot. Now so the spell now French. Sabot. S-A-B-O-T. If you search the word sabot, go for images then. Now the images and this is una see them. Sabot means a shoe. Now wooden shoe. Especially for ancient like medieval Europe. Now this kind of shoes that they wear shoes where they carve them out of wood. Okay? So now what did they call them? Sabo, shoe. That is where the word sabotage comes from. When I ask you to man said, but how should it do manage can form the word sabotage? Because hundreds of years ago, for a European factory for France, either France or Netherlands, one of those countries, the workers, the way they work inside this factory, they be go on strike because they be talk say they need to pay them enough money, they want more money. So what they do now, so they in anger for this company, for this factory, they remove their wooden shoes them, they throw them inside the machines the way they like the cogs and gearing for the machines the way they will power that factory. They move their wooden shoes and throw them inside the wooden cogs of the machine. And so the shoes them now they jam the gearing and the wooden cogs them for that machine. Now it stop the machine making no function. And the machine then now they broke, they spoil. And then now from there, where now if an internal person where they work with you, it decides to spoil what way you do they talk say, you don't sabotage that thing. That's where the word sabotage, it comes from, a wooden shoe, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So thank you, plenty my contribute. All when I don't listen to this to this lesson, I sure say some when I can't hear them. Not the first time this way when I understand who's how the word sabotage it come from. All when I owe me one beer because I impart knowledge for free. But when I see any black leg for any side, when I give my peer for when I bill, of course, but when I give them to countryman, to any other black leg when I see them for my chance, because country people no be one person, my country. So when I understand the origin of the word sabotage, sabotage, it not happen from the outside. Sabotage will only happen from the inside. Okay, my country. Sabotage will only happen from the inside. So no person, if you come out from outside, it can't sabotage you. Now only from inside, they go sabotage you. Make you understand that one, my contributor. So when we talk about sabotaging the Amazonia, their so-called conference, or their so-called dialogue, or their so-called internet government, or the whatever, it means that not only Amber versus Amber. And this sabotage will come. Okay, may I give you some examples? Then when they become up with a grand national dialogue, the same Anglophones they talk say it never be inclusive enough. They sabotage them. Time when they become with Anglophone General Conference, where Dr. Munzu and his eminence, the late Cardinal Toomey, able to organize the All Anglophone General Conference for whole for Boya. Some people they try to blame President Paul Biya. Why? The only people they want to get to blame them are Anglophones. Now Anglophones they sabotage them. So one they talk say no, enough you hold for Boya. So because the separatists they know will come, they will fear, so they will arrest them. So the talk say, may they go hold them instead abroad, knowing fully well the majority of Anglophones, they no go fit attend them. So now the diaspora be more important than the Anglophones them inside the Anglophone zone. Come on, be serious, my country people. So now they sabotage the Anglophone General Conference. Now they get the Swiss so-called mediation. Now who sabotage them? Now Amazonia, ACOF, Seaside, they denied them. They said no, they sabotage them. Now for July 2020, when I be here, tell me the talks today, so Cameroon government don't enter dialogue or whatever with Ayuk Tabe or Yerima. I mean Ayuk Tabe for Konengi. When I remember that one. Now Eric Tato be the first person in Rongo post on Facebook because Amba no get secret, Amba no get friend. They never arrive at no resolution, no consensus, nothing. They just talk, say hello. When I run go post on Facebook, just hello. When I run go post on Facebook, and then you get this Bangwa man, Chris Anu. He go for Facebook Live for Alphabet Facebook page. He go do 2 hours of live broadcast for sabotage. He move with better wooden shoe try inside the dialogue, inside the initiative. He move the biggest wooden shoe where we get and try inside. Sabo. Say the only legitimate, and now the other word is legitimacy. They fight now for supremacy and legitimacy. Said the only legitimate gang where if it dialogue on behalf of all Anglophones, so not them. And that's where the word supremacy comes from. The one for being at the supreme, the only one where it could talk on behalf of all Anglophones. Now the problem that. And now why that way? The sabotage is one. They go for Swiss cheese because the Ayaba Cho, because the Sako go for Swiss cheese, Ayaba Cho sabotage them. Now they go for Canadian cheeseburger because the Ayaba Cho go for chopped cheeseburger for Canada, Sako Ekome is sabotage. Now they come for Anglophone Channel Conference, they say because they sabotage. They go for Grand National Dialogue, they sabotage. What the Anglophones they want? All man, they want be supreme. All man, they want be now the only one where it be legitimate for talk on behalf of all Anglophones. And now because of that desperate situation where Anglophones they don't put themselves in, where it don't force Ayaba Cho for blink, it don't accept, finally, for Goshidon on the same table with Federalists, for talk about what, I don't know. And now why that way for that conference for Canada, they need to agree me person enter inside with mobile phone. They need to agree me anything with the discussion inside, make it come out outside. Because the greatest thing with the fear of this thing, na sabotage. Now the greatest thing that we the fear, sabotage. Says a person who move wouldn't shoot one inside going. The other conference where they be organizer for Ghana, when I remember, now since November last year, they be plan some Cameroonian doctor or whatever will be based for Ghana. It be plan a conference for whole and for Ghana for organize and bring together all Anglophones stakeholders from black legs to red legs to federalists to unionists to separatists or to amber terrorists. If we want to bring all Anglophones them together for conference in Ghana, since we the fear say they no one can Cameroon if they go arrest them. If it talks they plan that conference, if it get to hold in November 2000. Now then for November 2021, who sabotage them? Now Amber. Now Anglophones, they move the biggest wooden shoe where they find them try inside Golden House. So that is it. When I go blame Paul Biamasiam, I ask you something, my contributor. Let's be serious and let's be honest. Mo would take one person, just one individual. Agbobala. Una type I'm saying for comment section. What is Agbobala's profession? What be your job right now? So we know say he been a lawyer, barrister, where he do law for Cameroon, okay? But please explain that for me. What be your job? When Agbobala woke up for morning time for 7 a.m. he wash like any other ordinary person. He wear clothes by 8 a.m. He didn't for Wusai. What be your profession? What he put chop for a table? What be Agbobala job? When I tell me, because even that part-time teaching, where the teacher part-time teaching for University for Boya, they don't saki the saki. Beginning of this year, if I'm not mistaken, the saki for Boya. So where to be Agbobala job? If you afford for pay flight, if you afford for even apply for visa, let alone for pay flight, and then pay hotels for Canada, flight now much. Me I dey talk because I come up from London. Our flight come for Yaoundé for can discuss about Cameroon issues with Cameroonians. And then Agbobala come up for Boya. Obviously fly with Cameroon passport, apply for visa, pay flight, for flight go Toronto, for Canada or Toronto, and then pay hotels for 5 nights, and then fly come back. Who would sponsor the flight? Who would sponsor you for Canada? Where to be your job? Even countryman with there for you, even the lies the way they don't talk about countryman, they will tell you the countryman be 1 educated, 2 na professional, it they work. I want to see them every day. When me are there for London, I need to enter bus, I need to enter train, I need to enter public transport. I dey drive now my private motor from my door to wherever I go. Transact my business, enter my private motor with my air conditioning and everything, drive myself and back home. Because I be professional, because I get a career, not just a job. Career means I sign contract with the person where they pay me. Okay? I do my job, he pay me. They will not pay me, he go court. If he decide to sack me, we go court for tear that contract, no be biscuit. Right now, so if my employer decide to sack me, they go first pay me 25 million francs before we tear that contract because I get a career, no be job. So una tell me, what it be Agbobala a job for a afford flight for go Canada, come back? So now the next question I get to ask una self and say, now who the sponsor that dialogue for Canada? No be trick question. And now who it be the sponsor that dialogue where it be get to hold for Ghana November 2020? I tell una, if una don't know, na Cameroon government. Ma explain for una why. Okay, the Anglophones they be so juvenile, so childish, so incompetent, so inept, to the extent where Cameroon government, it feels sorry for them. It decide for help them for come together. It decide for help them for put their shit in one sock. Cameroon government decide for sponsor them for go shit on them Anglophone, brother and brother, discuss amongst themselves, for plan, for calm dialogue with Cameroon government. Make Cameroon government see where they go bring him. That is it. Na sorry hard for poor beer. Where? Una wama league una all secret. No matter na Yaoundé. I don't know Yaoundé now, so no. So when I go talk say now I sabotage the conference and sabotage. No, they don't need me for sabotage them. I'm but they be very capable for sabotage themselves. They don't need me. Sometimes they will even, like for example, my play for one video, because I come with archives. I always talk my thing. I play plus exhibit when I listen, and then I go explain which way. This one that Mark Barretta is to be talking. I think it was this one when I listen.
And they're asking, but now, what about us?
No, now this one, number 4.
Now, let me begin with the blacklets. The official blacklets that you won't know. He's the one who tells himself, my country, people them. This one, listen, that is why we must be very careful how we fight him. French Cameroon government has invested 15 million francs CFA paid to this one who calls himself my country, people them in UK for doing what he's doing, to get out video and audio propaganda, to expose our revolution, to use our words, our videos to attack us.
So when I don't hear, no be me I talk am. I dey always talk my thing, I talk am, I play for una plus exhibit, I give una. Na Mark Barretta, that Arata, where he be na so-called head of the consortium. Now he talks to this, so French Cameroon don't invest 15 million francs every month, but that's not the important part. The important part, what we talk now, say they for do what we command they do for use video and audio propaganda against them, for use their own words and their own videos and their own faces against them. Just here. So now what is some person message me for back. He tell me say, countryman, what way they do? I'm no fine. You didn't make these people they fight, and because they fight amongst themselves, they don't fit unite. Now why that way dialogue is delay, and now why that way they fighting on ground they continue, and now why that way Amber they continue to keep people, and now why that way this thing never end because they you the benefit. Now why that way they make them they fight among themselves. I just tell you, say, okay, you fit cut me out of the whole loop. No be so. Stop fighting among yourself, idiots. Just stop fighting amongst yourself. Stop listening to me. Stop giving me your words that I can use against you. Stop giving me the videos that I can use against you. How stupid are you people? Now wait. How na dorso? You talk to some person there out there and they use now your words, now your videos against you. So be smarter than that. So use your words carefully for the way where no person will weaponize them against you. Stop fighting amongst yourself. Is that so difficult? When they make them, it be so embarrassing for me for call myself Anglophone anymore. To the extent when the Cameroon government, it is sorry when the Anglophones them, it pass backside, conny way for organized dialogue them for when go don't talk among themselves. The Cameroon government get to pay Agbobalasana for Canada for bring Yerimba, Sako Ekome, Ayaba Cho Lucas together. Are you not ashamed? When I'm not ashamed. Now wait see.
Fellow ambassadors, Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Now, Commissioner for Ground Zero. Today, on November the 2nd, 2021, panic mode. So we are level of panicking for District of Ground Zero. We want to let you know say the revolution is in a panic mode. So we are level of panicking for this revolution. It don't be elevated to yellow. We are level of panicking. It don't be elevated to yellow. So for this reason, effective November the 5th, anybody where they say they live one Cameroon, they don't be under house arrest. All those gangsters that go for Canada, including the bishop and the pope, effective November the 5th, that's on Friday, they did for 3 months house arrest. All the people who they go for Canada, for what they talk for one Cameroon, I say effective November the 5th, they will be on the house arrest for Ground Zero. And they don't be banned for their streets, they don't be banned for attend any church service, they don't be banned for attend any conference anywhere for the world. Anytime I will see them, when I go shoot them, when I go kill them.
Just here.
My name is Willie. All those who attend meeting for Canada, they talk for one Cameroon, they on the house arrest, effective November the 5th, 2021, until March the 1st. Commander them for Ground Zero, full soldier them, when I see them, when I go shoot them, kill them.
There is so much division happening right now in the Ambazonian revolution that we have to start focusing on our own selves. Let me repeat. There is so much division. These divisive diasporan Ambazonians that we have to start focusing on our own selves. Ambazonians are running behind Canada with empty hands. Cameroon was not even part of it because Cameroon is not blinking. But we Ambazonians, we are the ones blinking. Each time they wave at us, we blink. Each time they wave, we blink. Stupid. Completely stupid. What are we afraid of? Are we afraid because Facebook labeled us terrorists? Who is Facebook? Facebook is a non-state actor. Irrelevant to the point where it even changes its name to Meta. Talking to you. Why are you blinking?
Blink.
Why are you blinking? Tell me who is more strategic. Isn't La République du Cameroon more strategic than the people of Amazonia?
Very.
More strategic than our mindsets? For now, we are not yet at power parity with La République du Cameroon. How does La République du Cameroon function in Amazonia? They roll out their cars, they roll out their hillocks, machine guns, they walk motorized, but we walk on foot. We are not yet at power parity. We are not yet at power parity. We are not yet at power parity. Yet we are rushing for their so-called dialogue. We have to focus on building our internal selves first.
Good. Go on, focus. Build your internal self first. Now, when I don't talk about ending the war, Swiss cheese, Canadian cheeseburger, when I don't see waiting, Akwanga don't make talk it on. And then this one, when I listen.
The fact that I speak against the AGOC's wrong move, premature ejaculation, when the game is still going on. This is completely a premature ejaculation when the match has not started. The fact that I speak against this premature ejaculation in Canada.
Today, I want to talk about the political masturbation where it happened for the Ambazonian revolution.
I beg, live and so.
The political masturbation
what?
Of your destiny and your life. For let Samuel Sako make him masturbate for your face.
Live and so.
Make him masturbate for your mommy face.
Ain't there?
Make him masturbate for your sister face.
I say stop so.
Make him masturbate for your papa face.
Live on.
If you want let these failed leaders make them masturbate for your face.
Jesus.
Screw up your future. Screw up your destiny. Screw all with because they fail and they want to be fucked up.
What?
They want to carry you, send them back to La République du Cameroon.
So when I don't say I'm normal contributor, no be me at the talk. Me, I just been at the Kumkumasa, the destroyer of Ambazonia terrorism.
Facebook, some digital platform, some I don't know how to substantiate it. Call calling you a terrorist and you're panicking. Maybe that's why you're rushing to Canada to prove a point that terrorists do negotiate. No, last maybe 1 year, I've not been active. Because anything I post, I am banned. In fact, this particular page is someone's page who literally changed his name to my name just for me to have a presence on Facebook.
Kiki Pascal.
Hail, hail, hail the Kumkumasa, we the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Kumkumasa, Kumkumasa, you shall free our country from terror, and your blessing shall be like the stars above. The Most High God shall be your guide.